guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Savannah and today I'm going to be talking about my cheer experience, talking about my senior year specifically. If you've been a subscriber for a long time, I have made plenty of cheer videos, whether it's a game day, get ready with me, anything like that. I have been making videos all throughout my senior year of me doing cheer and just talking about that. However, I never really addressed or talked about exactly kind of how my senior year in cheer went and the little things that actually did happen. I kind of made it seem like it was just all fun and it was a really good experience, which it was a good experience, but there was a lot of stuff that happened to me behind the scenes that I never really talked about. And throughout the year, I had collected all this information, I had stored all of the receipts, and I was ready to make a video as soon as I graduated, but I decided not to, and it is now a complete year later, and I've grown a lot from the situation, and I'm honestly kind of happy I waited to talk about the situation because I feel like if I would have talked about it when it actually was going on, I don't think I would have addressed it as maturely as I probably will today. I'm not saying I'm just like this mature person and all of that. I didn't have any flaws in this experience, but it was definitely something. And now I've moved on from the situation. I've completely forgiven all the girls. You know, I have no hard feelings here, and that's what I want to make very, very clear, because that was another reason why I didn't talk about the story sooner, was because I know how some of these girls are or how they were whenever this was all going on. And I don't want it to be made to seem like I have an issue with any of these girls anymore, or like I'm starting any drama, because that's literally not what I'm doing at all. I'm simply just sharing a story, and even if I talk about it in some sort of way, I want you to know, like clear as day, if any of you girls watch this video, I have no hard feelings towards any of y'all. I get we were in high school, like this is just high school idiot stuff, you know. I don't hold on to it, and I would hope none of you would as well. I hope that y'all would just understand that this is literally just a story, and if one of y'all does simply have a issue with anything that I say in this video, please just direct message me and I'm sure we can clear it up, because my intentions in telling this are not to upset anyone, and I hope that I don't do that. So yeah, with all that being said, I'm going to be sharing the story of my senior year cheer experience. I cheered 7th, 8th, and freshman year, and those 3 years were honestly pretty good. I didn't have really any issues those years. There probably was like little, you know, little stupid drama stuff, but my senior year was really the year where there was a lot of drama, because as you guys know, sorry if you hear my nephew or anything in the background, but I cheered 3 years straight, and then I stopped for my sophomore and my junior year, and I decided to return my senior year. So before tryouts had even happened, I believe this was junior year when I was in this class. Yes, okay, so junior year I was in a class called Anatomy and Physiology. I'm sure a lot of you have taken it, but I was in this class and we sat at this group of 4, and there was 4 girls, so me and 3 other girls, and one of the girls in particular had a really big problem with me, and I tried that whole year to the best I could to kind of not cause drama with her. I never really tried to discuss anything with her. I just tried to keep peace. So little things like when we would go get our papers, I would go grab her paper for her and I would pass them out to everybody at our table, or whenever we were done with an assignment, I would try to pick up everybody's paper, but she would not let me do it at times, or she would not be the nicest to me at times, and there was just little things. And I know I'm not crazy about any of this because Maddie was actually in this class with me, so Maddie knows exactly what I'm talking about. She knows who I'm talking about, and she knows where I'm coming from, because we would literally talk about it and be like, this is really weird, like I was trying to be nice and she's just not letting me, or you know, she just didn't like me, and I tried my best to just keep peace and not to really stir the pot. But anyway, so tryouts come around. We always try out in like February, around then of that next year or whatever. So basically you go all year and then you try out in February, and that's when you make the team or whatever. So keep in mind, this girl did not like me, and I had been debating whether I was going to try out for cheer or not, because I knew that majority of the girls on the team probably were going to have an issue with me trying out. So I really honestly debated it for a long time. I had gone back and forth. I was like, I don't know, like a lot of girls probably aren't gonna like me. It's gonna be really hard to get back on the team. But I knew deep down that it was really something that I wanted to do. I didn't want to leave high school regretting not doing it, and I had debated going back almost every single year, and I never really like talked to people about it, but I had debated going back to cheer every single year, because like I wanted to go back, but I was just like, I don't know if it was because I was nervous or what it was, but my senior year I was like, you know, I don't want to regret not doing it my last year of high school. So I went ahead and tried out. So before tryouts came around, I was doing things like open gyms, I was practicing at my house, like I was working really, really hard on my own because I really, really wanted to make the team. But basically one of the girls on the cheer team that I happened to be close with in middle school, I had confided in her and reached out and was just talking about how I wanted to try out again, how I was planning on trying out, and how I had wanted to be a flyer. This is kind of where the drama begun in a way, because she went to her other friends and basically let them know what I had said about wanting to be a flyer. And the one girl that had it out for me had a really big problem with this and started talking a lot of mess about me and just saying, you know, how I would never be a flyer, that they already had their flyers made up, and just a lot of things. And I also want to keep in mind that I have the receipts at the time of this all happening. Like, I collected the receipts over this year, but I've moved on from it and I deleted a lot of them. I do have very few, like here and there, of things that I can like read to you guys, but for the main part, I deleted most of all of my receipts that I had, which I really regret doing, because story times, what are story times without receipts, you know? But this is all just from my side of the story, so my recollection, how I processed all this information and stuff. So if I'm missing details or things are not 100% correct, I'm really sorry. This is just how I remember the situation, and I'm trying to be as truthful as possible and like remember everything, and if I was wrong, I will like let you guys know. So basically, like I was saying, she went to the girls, it was like a group of girls, and they were all like talking about how I wanted to be a flyer and how I wouldn't be a flyer and da 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 whatever. So then of course my feelings were hurt, girl, my feelings were hurt. So I started, of course, talking my mess back. I wasn't saying like anything too bad, but I was, of course, you know, talking my mess. So then tryout day comes around, you know, when we are, oh my god, y'all, this is another reason why I've been putting out this story, because as I'm telling the story, I'm like, wait, this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened. Okay, so something else that happened. So before we even had tryouts, when you know you have to go to like meetings and stuff for your tryouts, so at one of the meetings, I don't remember if this was the meeting after making it or if this was the meeting before like making it, you know, where you have to go and like talk about all the requirements and stuff, but it was some conversation about cheer captains. I remember this because me and my mom even talked about it after. I was like, please let me know, like, you heard this, like that was definitely directed at me, I'm not crazy. And my mom was like, yeah, that was 100% directed at you. And I was like, I know. But basically a comment was made about how the requirements and stuff for cheer captain, and the girl who did not like me raised her hand and asked a question. I can't remember exactly what the question was, but it was basically, if you haven't been on the team, can you be a cheer captain? Something along the lines of that. And I was the only senior that was trying out that hadn't already tried out, I believe. I'm pretty sure like I was the only senior that was trying out that hadn't tried out already. I think there was only like one girl that wasn't already on the cheer team that was trying out too, and me and her like were kind of friends throughout this all. But basically a question was made about me and it was directed at me, and I never even wanted to be a cheer captain, so I don't even know why. Like, I don't even know why that was even asked, because I never once acted like I wanted to be a cheer captain or said anything about that. But tryouts come around, and in the locker room, literally all of the girls are all in their one little corner. Nobody's really talking to me. I'm only really talking to that one girl who was also trying out that had missed a year. So she was going to be trying out to be a junior and I was trying out to be a senior. So tryouts happened, whatever. I ended up actually hurting my knee throughout the tryout, and I remember because I walked off and I literally was like bawling my eyes out because it hurt so bad.
So I messed up on one part of the dance and I messed up on one part of the cheer, but I kept going and I just kept smiling, so I don't think it was noticeable. But I literally, like, I walked off to the side and I started bawling because like my elbows hurt so bad from tumbling. Like, it's really bad, and like I couldn't like move or bend anything. Like, I could barely pick up my stuff to leave.
But then I left and I came back, I found out I made the team, and I believe I literally only took pictures with one girl, because nobody on the cheer team liked me, nobody on the cheer team wanted to talk to me. And this was another thing that was a little bit of drama. So basically all of the seniors were legacies besides one of the seniors. There was this one girl who had been on the cheer team from 7th all the way till her junior year, and when I tried out, she happened to not make it and I happened to make it. So of course that upset a lot of people, and everybody was mad at me as if it was my fault, even though I wasn't the judge. I didn't have any control on who made the team, anything like that. I went in, I gave my best efforts, and people had a problem that I made the team and she didn't. So then people had more of a grudge on me after we had found out who made the team and everything. So even girls who were on the team, like seniors when I was still a junior at the time, they were mad at me, and like just a lot of people were mad at me even though I literally had nothing to do with who made the team. Every year after we make the team, we have group bonding, and basically most of the time it was we went to a gym. I know this year they did something different, but we would always go to this one particular gym that was actually the gym that I did gymnastics at growing up. But we would go to the gym, rent it out, and we would like have a sleepover, eat pizza, you know, just hang out, bond, play games, just so that we can mesh the team together and, you know, get to know everybody. Well, at this thing, I remember because the one girl I had talked to about wanting to be a flyer, she never made it seem like I could never be a flyer. Like, she supported the decision and was like, yeah, like definitely, da 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 da. And then we went to the open gym. They were practicing stunts with flyers, and I remember wanting to be like practiced with, you know, like I wanted to try to get in there, see if I could fly. And if obviously if I couldn't, you know, if it didn't work out, I wasn't going to be a flyer. I had no problems with that, but I at least wanted to be given the opportunity to try. And I was never given the opportunity to, and that honestly kind of hurt my feelings. So I definitely talked a little bit of mess after that, but I wasn't the only one that was talking mess. Like, a lot of the girls were talking mess about me at that thing, and so of course, you know, when people are talking about you, you kind of feel a sense to want to defend yourself. So pretty much the whole lock-in, there was just a lot of drama going around, a lot of people talking about each other, and just, it was just not a pretty fun time. And so when we went to go to sleep, I remember all of the girls went off in this corner. Like, the whole entire varsity team went off in this one little corner, and me and a few other girls were trying to go over there to like find a spot to sleep, but there was literally no spots to sleep, so we ended up having to sleep away. It was literally only a few of us, and all the varsity girls were over on this one corner, and there was just only like 2 or 3 of us that weren't in that corner. And keep in mind, a lot of this stuff was literally just like little petty things that just were unnecessary, but hopefully it all makes sense. After the lock-in, I basically contacted the one girl that I had originally talked to about being a flyer, and I was explaining how I felt and all of that, and I was basically told, to sum it up, I was told that I was digging myself a hole. Pretty much all of the drama that happened at that night was like somehow my fault, and that I created the hole and I was digging it for myself. I was baffled that I was even told this, but I ended up going to the one girl that didn't like me in my anatomy and physiology class. I feel like I should just give them names because I feel like I'm like that girl, that girl, that girl. But okay, so I'll give the one girl who didn't like me in anatomy, we're gonna give her the name Abby. I don't know. That's just the first thing that comes to my head. So we're gonna give her the name Abby, and then the other girl that I had talked to about wanting to be a flyer, we're gonna give her the name Kendall. We'll go with Kendall. I don't know. Basically, me and Kendall were talking, and she was telling me how I was digging myself a hole and kind of just like not being a friend to me at all. And at one time, we were literally best friends. Like, through middle school, she was like my girl. Like, she was my best friend, one of my best friends, and it just kind of felt like backstabbed. Anyway, so me and Kendall had that conversation where I kind of expressed how I was feeling about the flying situation, and she basically told me I was digging myself a hole. I don't even remember how that conversation ended, but I ended up going to Abby, and I basically said, I have the receipts here. Okay, so I basically messaged this girl on March 2nd of 2019, and I said, what is our issue? I don't have a problem with you, but I know that you don't like me, which makes me hostile towards you. We're on a team together, and it's never gonna mesh if we don't solve whatever's going on. Then she typed a whole entire thing on her notes, her little notes, and screenshotted it and sent it to me. So I'm gonna read this here. It's because we have all cheered every year of high school and at least tried out every year. So one of the girls didn't make the team one of the years she tried out, but she at least tried out, and she tried out every single year, but she just didn't make it one. I believe it was her junior year. Honestly, I don't remember, but one of the girls didn't make it, so she wasn't a legacy or whatever. She said, and at least tried out every year, and you only cheered freshman year, and then you want to only come back senior year when all the other girls have put their heart and soul into cheer every single year. You even said in one of your YouTube videos that you didn't like cheer because it was strict. It's still strict. It's not all fun and games all the time. It's hard work. Even when you're on varsity, it's cheer for the boys, then be quiet. As you said in your video, you went on and on about how you dislike cheer and then said you wanted to try out again senior year. We don't just cheer, we support the school, and we have to go to many school functions to volunteer and represent the school. We have many events we participate in that isn't just stunting. It's time consuming and not always fun. We're in the freezing cold cheering and can only put on certain gear and can't stunt and have to be quiet. We can't just talk away or it represents us bad as a team and reflects blank our coach. We get demerits when we talk or play around and chant lines, so the experience is almost exactly what you said you didn't like in your video. You based everything you said about cheer off of freshman year when we were on JV. Yes, JV wasn't all that great or fun, but you didn't even give varsity a chance. You don't know what it was like. However, for the sake of the team, I'm willing to set this aside. I do think for the team, she put in like commas, for the team, we need to be able to mesh so we aren't divided. Basically, what I had taken from what she had said to me was that I didn't deserve to be on the team, and just the gist of that, I didn't deserve to be on the team, and yada yada yada. And I responded with, I understand why you're upset about that, but I wasn't a judge and I do actually want to cheer my senior year. It is something I took serious and I actually tried super hard on and took time to practice outside. I didn't just try out for fun because I wanted to. I know cheer isn't always going to be fun, and I know how some conditions are when cheering, and no, it wasn't my favorite, but just because I didn't cheer the last few years doesn't mean I care any less or deserve it any less. All that matters is if I give 100% effort for the time that I am here. I do not expect us to be best friends, but drama is not going to work on the team, and it has already made it click up. So whatever happens outside of cheer doesn't matter, but inside, let's just be nice about things. She never responded to me ever. So then I texted her again the same day, like a little bit later, and I said, I'm sorry for everything I've ever said. I really don't want any drama, especially this early. I'm not making an excuse for anything I've said out of hurt. I just feel like I really wasn't given a chance to prove myself before talk started. I don't expect an apology back, that's up to you, but I just want you to know that I am sorry and there are no hard feelings on my behalf. Fresh start. She never ended up responding to what I had said, you know, and continued to just kind of like talk mess behind my back. She was very much definitely that girl that would say things under her breath, make little comments, make little snarky snarky remarks and everything like that. And I kid you not, guys, I tried so hard not to say something every single time that she would make these little comments, and I would literally just brush them off, which is crazy to me. Like, I cannot believe I literally just would brush them off. But I would literally just be like, you know what, whatever, I'm the bigger person, I'm not gonna say anything. She's showing her true colors. I tried to apologize. She didn't want to reciprocate that, and could not comprehend how people still would take her side, even though I reached out to her. Like, I reached out to her to try to resolve things, and I was told I didn't deserve to be on the team, and I even apologized for everything I had said or the comments that I had made. Like, I tried to make things a little bit better so that we could have a good like season, and it just felt like she couldn't own up to her side of the thing, and she just felt like she just didn't have anything wrong. So yeah, that kind of happened, and I wrote down a lot of notes like through all of this stuff that was going on, but hopefully I say everything I need to say. If I don't, I'll just like edit in things that I remember as I go. But basically, yeah, that happened. Okay, so then we move on to May 23rd of 2019. This situation was honestly one of the most idiotic situations that I have ever experienced, and I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. I literally have like things in my notes because I would like keep things as things would happen, and I wish I had every single thing that had happened. I wish I would have wrote down everything because it was just honestly so funny at this point. But basically, so this is when we had our show-offs. So show-offs, we did like stunts and stuff, and I think we did like a cheer or whatever for our parents. It was super small. We got like gifts and stuff for cheer camp that we had coming up that next month in June. Earlier that day during school, something happened and my teacher had to go somewhere, and so my class had to go into another classroom, which some of the girls in cheer happened to be in. So one of the girls I was cool with, I went and I sat down by her, and the two other girls, Abby and another girl that was on the team, they went and they sat over by the teacher's desk. The one girl that I was friends with, she asked me to put in her hair bow. Mind you, the other girl that was with Abby at the time, she usually like put in her hair bow or whatever, so she was just like, she usually does it, she'll probably be mad at me. And I was like, what does it matter? It's a hair bow. Like, you're asking me to put your hair bow in. Why does it matter who puts your hair bow in? I'm gonna read off what it said. So Abby and the other girl were talking mess about me and Blank, basically because I put Blank's hair bow in, and whenever Blank tried to borrow the bobby pins from Blank, she was like, why don't you just ask Savannah for some bobby pins since she put your bow in? So I put in the girl that I was friends with hair bow, right? I had put that in. She needed some bobby pins or whatever, and I didn't have any, or she didn't have any or whatever. So she went to the other girl that was sitting next to Abby over by the teacher, and when she went to go ask the one girl who like usually put in her hair bow or whatever, I hope this is making sense, the one girl was basically like, why don't you ask Savannah since Savannah put your hair bow in? And basically trying to be petty, like her feelings were hurt that I put her hair bow in. So my friend just kind of was like, and the one girl, Abby, she was like, oop. She did a lot of that. She did a lot of things like that, like oop, you know, like stupid little petty things. And they basically kind of just went on to say how they didn't like me and yada 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 whatever. And then my friend came back and told me all of this. So that's what had happened earlier that day for show offs. Then when we got to show offs, me and my stunt group, honestly, like I felt like we never were like worked with a lot. Like we honestly tried so hard. We just kept going and kept pushing and stuff like that, and all of the girls just would never cheer for us when we would hit a stunt, anything like that. It was just like there was so much jealousy going on. Every time we would do something good, it was never like praised upon. Not that we needed to be praised or anything, but it would be nice for your team to like cheer you on, congratulate you or anything like that. So at show offs, basically we were trying to do a stunt and we kept falling, and it was the stunt that we were going to show off to our families and everything. So the two captains and Abby basically were talking their hot mess about us and our group and just saying how we're gonna look stupid because we can't hit, and Abby supposedly had said something along the lines of, oh well, let them look stupid basically. So little things like that would happen a lot, and we would just kind of brush them off. Keep in mind, Abby was one of the seniors, so I feel like that will make a lot of sense. She would never ever want to sit by me. Anything that was going on, she would never ever want to be by me. She would like move away from me as far as she could. She hated being around me, and it's obviously because she liked me, but she just couldn't be grown enough to stand by me. Like she literally just couldn't, so it was whatever. I just let it happen. So basically, cheer camp day one, I wrote down some notes, and so okay, so this was breakfast. So the morning before we left to go to SMU, which is where our cheer camp was, we had breakfast at Cracker Barrel, and then we met up at the school. I don't remember which one we did first. No, I'm pretty sure we did Cracker Barrel first, and then we went to take pictures. So when we did Cracker Barrel, I remember wanting to sit by my one friend that was trying out. Like I said in the beginning, she had missed a year and she was trying out. I'll just say her name because she was super sweet to me at the time. Allison was my friend that had missed a year and she wanted to try out again. So I basically wanted to sit by Allison because she was one of the only friends that I felt like I could actually count on when all of this was going on at the time. So I wanted to sit by Allison, and I told her before I got there to save me a seat. The one girl that was with Abby that one time that had made the comment about the hair bow, she basically like took my spot, and when I went in there, she like wouldn't move. I was like, Allison, please tell her to move. Like, I just like, there's nobody else here for me to talk to. And like, it was a really, really awkward time for me, and nobody liked me, and I was really uncomfortable. So I really wanted to sit by Allison, and this particular girl would not move. She like literally would not move. She didn't care. She didn't like me either, so she did not care. So I ended up having to sit at the other table with the other seniors, which mind you, I really never sat with the seniors or anything like that. So I sat at the table with the seniors at Cracker Barrel, and none of them spoke to me besides one or two of them. One of them only said good morning to me, and the other one, I wrote it down, asked me if I wanted a piece of bread. That was it. The whole morning of breakfast, none of them talked to me. It was honestly so awkward. I just sat there on my phone looking down. It was horrible. Like, it was honestly super horrible. It's just like, I can't explain. Like, a lot of this just sounds like stupid petty drama high school nonsense, which it was, but at the time, like, it kind of hurt. Like, it really did hurt, because I was trying really hard to make these girls like me and to stay out of drama and not cause problems so that I could have like an easy-ish senior year with cheer and stuff, but I knew it was gonna be hard, so it was whatever. So that happened at breakfast, and we went back to the school to take pictures and stuff. They would take pictures with me, but then they also took an entire senior picture, and I was the one senior that wasn't in the picture. And when things like that happen, obviously it hurts, but I tried to not take it too personally, because they had been cheering together, they were friends or whatever, but they did little things like that all the time and would leave me out. I was the one senior that got left out of so many different things, and so little petty things like that would happen a lot. Then another thing that happened while we were there at cheer camp was one of the girls had planned to have like a little party in one of the rooms, not like a party I guess, but just like a get together where all the girls like went in and had like ate some food or whatever, played some games, you know, just talked, had a good time. They didn't invite certain people, like specific people weren't allowed to come, like they weren't invited. You get what I mean? Like, it was a lot of petty stuff. And then Abby, remember how I said she didn't like being around me, anything like that? When we went to take a senior picture or anything like that while we were at cheer camp, if I happened to be around her, she would move. So one time we were like huddling up, and I remember this vividly. We were like about to huddle up and take like a picture of us like from above. I will insert the picture. I'm gonna blur out the other girls just in case, but I will insert the picture if I have it. She moved away from me. Like, she literally moved away from me, and she did that stuff a lot. Like, she did that stuff a lot. And then I remember there was issues with the fact that I was doing the advanced dance. A lot of people were hot and bothered at the fact that I was doing that, and there was just other little things that happened at cheer camp that were made to be an issue when they weren't. Like I said, this happened so long ago, so it's like I'm trying to remember all the little things that happened, but if I miss things out, I will try to include them if I remember. The next note that I wrote was, oh, this situation. Oh my god. Okay, so I had gotten in trouble sometime, I think it was either before cheer camp or a little bit after cheer camp. It was sometime in the summer. My mom actually got an email from my coach, and we had to go up to the school. My coach talked to me and basically said that because I had social media and all of that, I had to watch what I posted, which was all great and all, but it honestly just made me feel so like I could not live. And I don't even post anything bad, which is the crazy part. I really don't post anything bad, but I was even more limited than I was already limited. Basically, she told me that she was shown a video of me smoking by one of the girls.
Okay, so I had this part of the story a little bit wrong. So like I'm saying, like, this was so long ago, so it's like I kind of, parts of it are just like a little bit mumble jumbled, but like for the most part I remember the most of it. So in the summer I got in trouble for vaping, and I also got in trouble for posting a picture where my boobs were out a little bit. I will insert the pictures like right here so you guys can see what I'm talking about, but I got in trouble for that and had to take those pictures down. And then I also had gone to a concert, and I'm pretty sure I got in trouble for a video of me twerking when I was literally at a concert, and I don't think I was on the team when this happened, or I had made the team, but I wasn't like, you know, we hadn't officially started cheer or anything like that. I don't remember exactly if I was on or not, but I'm pretty sure I also got in trouble for the video of me twerking, but then again, I'm not 100% sure. But I know for a fact the vaping was one of them, and I know for a fact I got in trouble for the picture of my boobs.
So little things like that would happen all the time. The girls would go to my coach and tattletale on me for literally anything I did, so it felt like I could not breathe. I couldn't do anything without having to watch my back. It just sucked. It really did suck. But then for this story, it was August 12th of 2019. So we had practice, and the practice was good. Everything went fine. And then after, we have things called demerits, and that's just like when you do something wrong or whatever, you have to do punishments or do like little worked out things to like work off your demerits, or it counts on your grade. So I basically was given a demerit, and I didn't know any, like I had no idea what this demerit was for. I was very, very confused. So I was like, I went up to my coach and I was like, what am I getting demerit for? Like, I didn't do anything. And she was like, I will talk to you in private. And so I was like, you know what? Like, this is the second time I was getting in trouble for something, and I was just like, you cannot, like, I cannot make this up. Like, why are these girls out to get me? I don't understand. Like, I'm not doing anything. I wasn't trying to tattletale on them for anything. Literally nothing. Like, I was just doing my life. Like, I was living my life, and they just kept trying to get me in trouble. Basically, she proceeded to tell me that I had 3 demerits, and they were all for social media. So talking to me and she was like, the girls had sent me in some things that are not so cheerleader-like and don't represent our team very well. One of them was that I posted a picture in my bikini, which we had already discussed what was okay. We had already discussed back in the summer that if I posted any pictures and stuff, to make sure it was from the front and to not show my butt in any way. So I ended up getting in trouble for something like that I had, I guess, showed my butt. I was in trouble for the flipping my sister off. I heard y'all talking about it.
Messing with her body. Why is this too expensive? Well, I mean, why is this ridiculous?
And then I was also in trouble for, I had posted a picture on my Snapchat story of me in a black sports bra and some black Nike Pros. This was crazy to me that I even got in trouble for this, because this is exactly what competitive cheerleaders wear to practice and anything like that, but because I did it, it like wasn't okay. But one of the girls, and I know exactly who it was too, so it's really honestly funny. But I got in trouble because I posted a picture in a sports bra and Nike Pros with my hair bow in. Literally, that was the only thing. It didn't say any of my school's information on it, anything like that, but it was a cheer hair bow, so I got in trouble for that. I had 3 demerits for those 3 instances, and I had to work those off.
Another thing that happened as I was going through and I was looking for like pictures and videos and stuff that I could incorporate into this to make it a little bit more fun. But also, if you hear my nephew or the TV, like I'm in here with him. But we had these things called baby peas, and they were basically just like a little mini pep rally in the morning on Fridays before game days, or we could do them for like any other sport, just whatever they wanted a baby pea for, and like the band would play and we would like cheer and stuff. We had a baby pea, and this particular day my stunt group, actually when we went to go do our stunt, we fell, and I happened to be recording this, so I have the footage. I never brought it up to the girl because, like I said, I didn't want to cause any drama, but I was just like, wow, like really wow, like. But basically we fell, and the girl in the background literally looked at us fall and was like and like looked at her friend and did something like that. And I'm not making this up, I literally have the video, and I wish I could put it in here because I really want to, but again, I'm not trying to show anybody's face that I don't think would be okay with it, because obviously her name's not in a good spot in this story, in this particular story, so she's not gonna want her face out there, so I'm not including the video that I have. But kid you not, it was literally like this. It was like I kid you not, I'm not even making this up. I'm not even making this up. I wish I could include the video, but it's just so crazy. Things like that would happen all the time. Like, they wanted us to fail. Like, it's so irritating. They, instead of like, you know, when you're on your team, like you would want to lift up your team. No, like they fed off of being better than the other girls. Like it was so toxic.
But yeah, so that happened. And then one time, this was September 5th of 2019, basically we had team dinner, and I had walked in, I put my keys down and stuff where I was going to sit, and then I went and I got up to go get my food and stuff, because every time we had team dinner or whatever, they would make food for the cheerleaders and the football players, and we would just all eat, and they would have like a speaker come, or the boys would talk, anything like that. It was just like team dinner, you know. So I went, I put my keys down, and then I got up to go get my food, and when I came back, the one girl that had gotten mad about the bow stuff, she moved my keys, and so I had to end up sitting somewhere else. I don't remember, but I was really mad at that situation, because I was like, don't touch my things, like do not touch my things. Basically, she moved my stuff and I had to sit somewhere else. And then when we had our cheer senior breakfast, they basically put the plates and stuff where all the seniors were together, and then there was a junior, and then it was me. So I was the one senior, yet again left out of all the senior stuff. I didn't get to sit with the seniors. I was sitting next to a junior, which also really sucked. I honestly didn't really think too much about it until my mom made a comment, because I was just so used to getting treated this way, and then my mom made a comment about it, and then I was like really though, I'm the one senior for our homecoming breakfast, and I don't even get to sit with the seniors. Like, even though I wasn't really close to them, it was just the, like, I don't know how to explain it. It was just the fact, you get what I'm saying? Like, it just sucked. I don't even know how to explain it. And then another time, I had posted this ugly picture of this one girl that was in my class. It just had popped up in my memories or something like that, and I had posted on my story. One of the other girls on the cheer team screenshot it. I don't even think she knows that I knew about this. When I would find like fishy stuff out that each of the girls were doing, they thought they were so slick, which is the crazy part, but I would find things out and I would just like go and block them. I started to block all the girls because they would stalk my page and try to get me in trouble for literally anything and everything. I had posted this ugly picture of this one girl. Keep in mind, I was literally in the exact same classroom with her. She was sitting next to me. The one girl screenshots it off my story and sends it to the girl that I'm sitting right next to, and is like, I hope you know Savannah posted this. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? You're really searching, you're really fishing at this point. So she screenshotted it, sent it to her, and was like, did you know Savannah posted this of you, like yada yada. It was just really ugly that she did this. And so I was like, text her back and say, yeah, I know, she's literally sitting right next to me. It was just like, that's so ugly, like that's so ugly. But a lot of stuff happened throughout the year, and more so towards the beginning of the year, it felt like everybody was just up against me. Everybody was not on my side at all whatsoever. And then more so towards the end of the year, I feel like people started to finally understand that I was not the one that was causing the problems. The one girl, Abby, was the one who would literally stir up so much of the problems. I'm not saying it was just completely her, but she was like a big big factor in it, because her friends, her literal friend group, would come to me and like talk crap about her. And like at one time we were the only ones that were there, and she was the one senior that wasn't in the room at the time, and all of her best friends were literally saying about how she was acting and how she's annoying and this and this and this, and just were talking like the hottest mess about her. And I just remember thinking it was so funny, because I was like, I know tomorrow y'all are gonna act like y'all are her best friends again. It's just crazy. And so that would happen a lot, like towards the end of the year. They would all like start to be like, yeah, understanding my side of the story. And even my coach started to understand the same thing. Like she would start to get upset at the one girl, and like I was just so happy that people started to finally see that I wasn't the one that was causing the problems. I wasn't the one who was stirring up the drama. Then like when we were at games, nobody really wanted to take pictures with me. I literally would take pictures with these same 3 people all the time. I never took pictures with any of the other girls like that, unless my coach literally asked us to take pictures. But then to finish off this story, one thing ended up happening towards the end of the year when soccer season was going on. Everybody, if you're in high school, you know soccer is like one of the last sports and stuff that goes. Basically, we had to go to a soccer game, and I think it was just the seniors that went. So we get there. At the time, I was actually house sitting for my grandparents. They were on a cruise, and if you guys know anything about cruises, you know that unless you pay for like Wi-Fi and stuff like that, you only can have your phone, you know, whenever you're like off the port, I guess. So basically, my grandpa had ended up calling me during the game, and the national anthem had just started. And so I answered the phone like right before it had started. Like I didn't know what to do, because I was like, I can't really hang up on them because they're limited on time. Like I don't know when the next time they're gonna be off and they can talk to me. So I was like, I felt stuck. I was like, I don't know, should I hang up the phone and be respectful of the national anthem, or do I like continue to talk to them? And I was just like, I was literally trying to get off the phone, but I just like was stuck. I didn't know what to do. I was on the phone. I was like, hold on, da 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 da. And as I'm trying to get off the phone, Abby is running her mouth under her breath, basically just saying little things like, that is so disrespectful, like get off the phone, yada yada yada. But she's doing this all under her breath. And for the most part, she would do this a lot of the year, and I would never speak up about it. I don't know what was in me this day, but I was not having it. I was over her nonsense. I literally just couldn't handle it anymore. And so as soon as we got done, I was like, oh my god, like I want to say something so bad. I want to go off on her right now, but I didn't immediately. So one of her friends had said something, the one that was like sitting right next to me, and she had said something, and I basically was like, yeah, because people want to say things under their breath. Next time, say it to my face. And the Abby, she turned around and she like looked at me and was like, well, it was disrespectful, da da da, this and this. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? Like they're literally on a cruise, like they need to talk to me. I don't know what you want me to do. You always want to talk about me under your breath. You always want to say this and this and this. Like be bold, say it to my face. Like I was just ranting. Probably did not say as much as I'm saying right now, I said, but those were my feelings inside. To sum it up, I had said something along the lines of that, and I was like, be bold, like say it to my face. And she just like kind of looked at me and just was like in awe, because I am like, I kid you not, the whole year she would always make little mumbles and jumbles under her breath and make little comments, and I would never ever speak up about it. I just would talk my to my close friends. But this particular day, I just like let it rip, and I was so over it. And I just remember it felt so good to finally like yell at her, because she just like caused a lot of problems for me, and I don't have any issues with her anymore. Like it's all good, girl, like all love, I don't care, whatever. We were in high school, we were stupid. But at the time, I was just so happy that I finally stood up to her, because it just felt good for myself, because I felt like I had just put up with so much from her, and just so much with any of the girls. So, you know, I kind of just like let it out all at one time, and it honestly felt really good. And even her best friend at the time, her best friend at the time, she texted me and was like, thank you. Like all the girls kept looking at me and were like, yeah, like period, you did that, da da da, you told her off, because all of the girls wanted to say something to her, but nobody would. So when I finally did, everybody was like, thank you for finally speaking up to her, like literally thank you. So I remember that happened, and I went home and I was like, Mom, you will not believe what I just did, da 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 da. Like I finally stood up to her, and it was honestly a good feeling. But yeah, I think that's a lot of the gist of stuff that happened. Again, there's not a huge story time about everything that happened. It was just specifically me and this one girl, Abby. I feel like she tried to make everything for me, or maybe not purposely did, but like kind of did. But I'm honestly really happy that I like stuck through all of the stuff that I went through, because I kind of felt like better that I didn't let her get to me 100%, because there was one time that I really just wanted to quit, because I was like, you know what, like there's no way any of these girls are ever gonna like give me a chance. Like I can't do anything without having to watch over my shoulder or having to tiptoe around these girls, because they're literally out to get me. That's how it felt. It felt like no matter what I did, there was eyes on me 24/7, and they were just like lurking, trying to get at me for some something, trying to turn me in for something, trying to get me in trouble for something, you know. That's just how it felt constantly 24/7. But girl, you know, at those games, I was talking all the time. You literally see in the videos when I would post, I'm constantly talking to this one girl. We were always talking, and Abby would get mad about it all the time. She would always say stuff like, oh my god, they need to pay attention, da 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 da. No, I was having a great time. I made my time good. Like, even though a lot of the girls did not want me to have a good time, they did not want to do anything, whatever, I made sure I had a good time. I filmed my videos, I got my good content, you know, I made it better than what it was. And I'm really happy that I did that for myself, because I'm happy I just didn't let them get the best of me. But yeah, I know this story was kind of all over the place. You guys have been asking for me to talk about cheer for so much, but again, I just want to reiterate, I have no ill intentions for this video. I literally am just talking about it for content purposes, and just because people keep asking me to talk about it and stuff. I promise you, to any of the girls, if you're watching this, if any of y'all had a important role in this story, I have no issues with you anymore. I've brushed it off, I've dropped it, I've grown from the situation. It's a complete year later. I just really hope that none of you take this video personally or take anything that I've said to heart, because this is honestly just for fun. This is just, like I said, I don't know how many times I need to reiterate it, but it's for content. And yeah, like I said, it happened a year ago. I'm good now. I have no hard feelings for any of y'all. Yeah, that's kind of the truth about a lot of the stuff that happened my senior year with cheer. There's obviously probably so many other things that I didn't discuss or didn't talk about, but I think I pretty much covered a lot of it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications. And yeah, with all that being said, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!